Hello, everybody. Welcome along to DC Network. Today, we're going to be looking at our race cards. We've now implemented, I've now put in a live analysis on the pro race card. So we're going to take a look at what our race cards offer in this tutorial. And just a reminder, it's a 28-day free trial, right? I totally get that this is a completely new concept for a lot of people to understand, but I think it's a very, very valuable one. I really passionately believe in it, and I honestly believe that you're going to get so many edges from this. Clicking onto Pro Race Cards straight away, you'll get the standard view card that comes up. Not a lot on here, to be honest. You've still got your form, figures, etc. We're on Vici. I shouldn't be on Vici. Let's go on to Air. Clicking over to Air. Vici is just the first race card that came up. That was all. Not too much information on here. This is just a free runner field. So we'll skip through the races and look at some bigger fields. This one looks okay. Okay, so what we've got on the standard race card, it's got your overnight shift, what it opened at and what it is now. Obviously, every time the page refreshes, it does update the information. We've got our odds on the right-hand side. And this percentage here is under the odds is the comparison between today's price and the horse's average starting price across all career runs. I think that's a very little important offering, just to tell you, is this horse a lot shorter than it normally has been across its average career? Moving through the card, you have a trainer course all-time record here, the AI index, the win percentage. Moving further down, trainer form and historical backing stats. So this is important. So reading this top line, Jim Goldie, 65 runs, 5 wins, a stroke rate of 8%. Those that have been backed 30% or more in the market, he's had 10 and he's had no wins. Those that have been backed 50% or more in the market, 5 no wins. So that's just a very standard view, very basic information. Of course, you do have your form figures there, which you can drop down and it will show you all your race form there. The result, clicking that will open up a new tab to show full result. Here is a replay. You can click straight through and watch the replay. And here is the snapshot. So I'll give you the snapshot of the market state when this horse last run, and in fact on every single run there. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You all know race cards. Let's look at the pro card and what the difference is between the standard view and the Pro Card Active view. Now, the Pro Card Active does have an active live analysis, race analysis involved in this card. So, it's always updating, it's always keeping an eye on the market, it's always trying to give you the latest information based on what the market is doing against that horse's history. At the top of this, we've got some information tiles. Late money watch out today for late moves for Katie Scott. Strong support shows up regularly close to the off. 37.3% late supported. 75 runs in the last 90 days. From 75 runs in the last 90 days. Drift warning, be cautious of Ian Jardine. Runners start easing late this yard as a habit weakening between closer to the off. 61% of his last 177 runners have drifted late in the last 90 days. Again, another Ian Jardine and another Ian Jardine. So it's really focusing on an Ian Jardine horse today. But looking down through this market, let's take a top look at this top runner. This is Water of Leaf. These are your typical badges, first time pieces, course and distance winner, gelding operation, horse number, jockey and trainer. This little badge next to the trainer will tell you when Jim Goldie has been best to back, and he's an SP value horse. So if you just backed all of Jim Goldie's horses on our database, what it would say is you're just better off backing them at SP, because that's just the way that his runners have materialized in our database. The draw, obviously, the weight, the official rating, headgear, age. Again, you've got the form drop down exactly the same as you would have on the standard view. Last run was 7 days ago. The overnight market shift is opened at 3.0, out 16.7%, so out to 5 to 2, and is currently 46% shorter than his average career price. We've got our DC Fair Odds model here, a 2-to-1 price tag we put on Water of Leaf today, which is fair. Now, this Fair Odds is based on our entire historic data. It doesn't just focus on one horse and what one horse has done in our data. It focuses on our entire data, and it looks at exactly how horses have performed overnight to 10 a.m. in the market in certain price brackets, and then it comes up, and then it looks at the result of how those horses did, and then it gives you a fair price on what that horse should be. Today it says 2-to-1. It says Water of Leaf is slightly overpriced, but fair because it's in a certain bracket between 2-to-1 and 5-to-2. The Intel tab on the side, you can click the Intel tab and it'll give you some Intel insights. Never won when drifting. 0 wins from 7 drifting runs, this horse. Market support has mattered. 4 placed. Placed is first 2 on our system. 4 placed from 7 supported runs. Big drifts have failed. And market forecast. Any drift before 10 a.m. would be a negative. Previous drifting runs have failed to produce a winner with this horse. And you can already see today that open to 10 a.m. Shift is been out to 16%. So potentially maybe one to take on. Then we've got a little bit of a market summary from him. Water of Leaf comes into stage race while dropped in class. Is already a proven winner of the exact course and distance. The books are stable, tracking a flat, soft, -4.7 probability points variance. Here it will tell you previous wins. All historic wins required strong market support. That value is not yet achieved or it's missing today. Its last run at Air, it attracted market support, shortening from 8.0 into 5.5 SP, peaking at opening, which is always going to say, look, peaking at 10 a.m. or peaking at midday before it finished an unplaced 6th. You can click what this means and it will just give you a real insight into this. A lot of these are going to say no unusual market activity until there is unusual market activity. So let's look through a couple of these runners here. Second favourite is Whiskey Kiss. Again, we've got this exactly the same for every single runner. The result, the replay, the snapshot from its previous run. Again, this one has drifted and it's actually 92.1% against a negative, shorter than its average career price. Let's have a look, see if there's any Intel summary. Big drifts have failed 20% or more. He has never placed in the first 2. Moving further down, we've got Royal Duke. Looks a lot positive here for Royal Duke here for Reece Elliott and Mike Smith. There's no edge on Mike Smith horses as we speak at the moment, but as we collect the data over time, there's going to be more and more information that we can get. Again, you've still got the drop down for everything. Opened at 7.0 and into 4.5. This is 66% shorter than its average career. And let's have a look at the insight. Support has not converted. Again, this is very interesting, right? Because we've got 2 horses at the top of this market who are not really wanted and have needed support. But this horse has had support, but it's not converted in 4 runs. Market Sport has produced placed horses. 1 placed effort in the first 2, so it would have been the second from 4 supported runs. Early support has not historically translated into winning performances. So again, we've got an underlay here for Royal Duke as well, but we're getting very strong support notes here. Royal Duke comes into taste conditions, understanding conditions, loves this track, and won here before. The intent structure backing for it today. The price is shortening from 7 down to 4.5, represents an increase of 7.9 probability points in market weight. Crucially, this is the strongest, highest conviction move on the database that the database has ever recorded for this horse. This move occurs while the runner is comfortably dropped in class today. So those things could be a good reason why Royal Duke will actually convert support today. So you just need to read these and read what we're seeing here. And what this means, stronger support recorded for this horse. Its previous wins also come under similar surface and distance conditions. So lots of positives there really for Royal Duke, despite the fact that it's saying support has not converted. But that's only based on 4 runs. So maybe the drop in class today is the reason. I would then go to the Racing Post to go and have a look at Royal Duke to see if he's been dropped in class before, if he's been dropped in class at this venue before. Those sort of insights are invaluable. Moving further down the market here, we've got Mount Ruapuru. Again, so form drop down, etc., etc. Out 4.5, out to 9.2. Bit of value, we say here. Market support has mattered for this horse. 2 placed runs from 6 supports. Market support has produced winners. 1 winner from 6 runs. Has won despite drifting. 2 wins from 7 drifting runs. So very mixed signals about Mount Ruapuru. So happy to sort of move on there and just maybe take a look at the actual form book again. Should be using this, with the form book. Go back through his runs here, seeing if he's dropped in class. Go and have a look at the results. Class 6, Class 6, Class 6. In fact, let's just do that very quickly for Royal Duke. Here today, he is running in a Class 6, whereas Royal Duke is Class 6. It may have been the bracket that's different. He's always in Class 6. Last 3 runs at Air, 5, 5, 6 furlongs. Again, running over a trip of 6 furlongs today. So just keep it. Go and have a look at those brackets, price class drop brackets. So 0 to 55, 0 to 60, whatever it might be. So let's have a little look at that in a moment. Going through the rest of the card, doesn't really want any of the other horses. We've got a live race analysis. So what this race analysis is doing is it's actually looking exactly at how the market's reacting throughout the day. So this is likely to change. So this top analysis choice will likely change throughout the day because it's trying to keep you up to date of what's happening in the market to give you a accurate assessment before the race is run. Obviously, things change throughout the day. No other race cards do this. They give you a selection regardless of what things have changed. For example, the rain may have come, and that selection is dead or whatever. But this live race analysis will keep you updated throughout the day. Water of Leaf is recommended selection. Brought together the strongest overall combination of data tags, early morning weight, also forced it into our 10 a.m. market plunge list. Stands out established course and distance specialists over this trip. Going further down, you've got your market intelligence. So we've got all of the runs and what this horse has done and how he's finished. So he finished first there, 2.75, 2.0. Late support last time, SP 5.5. The last price we saw was 6.5. So late support last time out on the 13th of July for Water of a Leaf. Supported 47% of the time, drifted 47% of the time, average is 0.2. Again, we've got this for every single horse going through. Then you've got your trainer market trust profiles. So let's look at Jim Goldie, considering that the analysis likes Jim Goldie here. It will tell you all of this little bit of information is biggest winner 200. Money arrives when this yard runs. Market support is usually well founded. Wins are not dependent on rare outsiders. Long-term value is present here. So Jim Goldie looks like he is getting a lot of positives today, other than the fact that we've got 0 wins from in the last sort of 30 days or his last 65 runs of being backed. So a couple of little contradictions there that are going to work themselves out before full launch day, but this is valuable information that you're not going to get anywhere else. And this is just obviously one example of a race card. So lots of information here that you could be using in conjunction with your own thoughts and your own form study. Okay, we're looking at the market and how the market is behaving around horses, etc. And we are matching patterns, historic patterns, to give you an insight into horses. And I think a lot of this is invaluable information here for you to get stuck into. So I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoy the Pro Race Cards. Obviously, as you can see, Pro Race Cards is for members. The Standard View Race Card is for the public, and the Standard View obviously doesn't give you all of that information, but it gives you a little bit of insight into the overnight shift. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Until next time, take care.